It's not often I get to do stories about transcontinental romance, grand follies or a castle. But today I've got them all in one story. Welcome to Basket Range and to the Manor.
This Adelaide Hills estate dates all the way back to, well, not quite the Middle Ages, just 1935. But thousands of South Australians will recognise it as Camelot Castle, a hugely popular wedding venue that hosted happy matches as far back as the 70s. It's been closed to the public for quite a few years, but after an intense renovation, has just reopened as the Manor Basket Range. And Adelaide's most elegant emigre, Max Mason, along with canine consort Faux Shizzle, is lending his style to the venture in partnership with the new owners. To say he's enchanted is putting it mildly.
I think that if you have a castle that looks like this, in a position that this is in the middle of Basket Range, arguably one of the most exciting wine regions in Australia, and only 25 minutes from the city, you can't fail but create the most magical space. I've yet to have anyone arrive at the place and not get it immediately that it is something otherworldly.
The relaunched venue is adaptable to just about any festive occasion. The two large function halls are roomy enough for a good old Elizabethan feast. And everywhere you look, there are flourishes that give the place a fairy tale feel. If I had to pin down the look, it would be Manor House mélange, with just a touch of tongue-in-cheek. Though there's no permanent restaurant, the kitchen kicks into gear to add flavour to events. And wines from the very on-trend Basket Range region will be available at a new cellar door. With all this in mind, there's a nifty solution if you and your friends want to party the night away without cabbing it back to the city. A dozen neat little retro units. They all have kitchenettes and living spaces downstairs, with each unit uniquely adorned by a different artist. Upstairs there's a bedroom and a pretty swanky bathroom.
They provide an incredible opportunity to escape from the city, to find yourself in the middle of wine heaven and in the most beautifully dressed rooms with really special surroundings.
The manor sits on 6 acres and its sculpture-studded grounds are already attracting the professional style seekers. Weddings are back on, in the tiny copper-top chapel or in the beautiful gardens. Which brings us back to the love story involving the original Lord of the Manor, who got this whole party started.
Albert Pinchbeck was a realtor. He was an Englishman. In the late 1920s, he fell in love with South Australia. He'd made a lot of money in the UK and was trying to persuade his loved ones to leave Warwickshire to move here. They laughed at him and said without castles, they wouldn't be leaving Warwickshire. So he built them a castle out of the very best sandstone in Australia and created Warwick Park.
Now, despite all this, things apparently weren't quite castle-y enough for the missus.
So Lady Pinchbeck came out and rumour has it that she laughed at the castle and said that that's not a castle, it's a plaything, and turned tail and went back to the UK. If it's true, it's a horrific story. If it's not true, it's a damn good story.
As evening descends and guests arrive to toast the new look manor, it's hard to believe Lady Pinchbeck could have turned down a home in the hills like this. Perhaps a moat would have got her over the line. But if you fancy playing Lady or Lord of the Manor Basket Range, you can check for upcoming events on Facebook or the website. Music, theatre, history, fashion, perhaps even a ghost story or two.
So now she's got her makeup on, she has her best dress on, and by damn, she's going to party.